The worst she can say is no. Lads, what was the worst she ever said? I think this might make it worse, but it actually occurred when she was asking me out. She said, "I'm only asking you because I'm desperate." Nice. How'd the date go? It was awkward. We watched Horton Hears a Who and shared Draconettes, and she asked me halfway through if she could hold my hand. I was like, sure. We didn't go on a second date. When I was in like 8th grade, we had a dance. I spent like an hour hyping myself up to ask this girl for a dance. I walked up to a group of the girls and asked her, and she just kneed me in the nuts. No words, and just that. I never did figure out what the hell that was about. It was Halloween, and I was at a bar. There were two girls who were clearly besties, and they were very aware that they were the hottest girls at the bar. They were each wearing typical hot girls Halloween costumes. Think devil costume, consisting of a red dress and plastic devil horns. I don't remember what their exact costumes were, but I went up to one of them and said, "Hey, you look like a cute whatever her costume was." She responded with, "You look like a fucking loser." They both laughed and walked away. I laugh now when I think about it, and the story always gets a rise when I tell it. But at the time, I felt like a fucking loser. I wrote her a note asking her out. She wrote a U on it and sent it back. We were in high school. I sat next to her and we started talking. Everything was going great, so I asked if she wanted to go see a movie. She looked around and then said, "Look, I don't want to be mean, so just tell people we found out we're cousins." Then it was awkward for a few seconds until she switched seats. I can still smell the room we were in because of how bad that memory is burned in my brain. Ouch, Patricia, not cool. Patricia, she's your cousin you tried to screw, right? Everyone at school has been talking about it. This wasn't on her, but I still think about how awkward it was and how I wanted to die. The setup to this was I thought I had a secret admirer in my junior year of high school. I received a couple notes from an unidentified girl, nothing over the top, but just enough to seem legit, saying she thought I was cute and asking if I had a girlfriend. This was early 90s, so no social media, texting, etc. I would find out later this all was a prank devised by my friends, and still can't believe I bought it. I can't remember the exact detail on how my friends discovered the identifier of the girl, but they gave me the info one day, and I took it as real. I knew of this girl at school, but had never talked to her before. I was walking to class with my buddies. We see this girl in the hallway take a turn, and is heading away from us to class. My buddies get on me to go ask her out, man. She wants to hang out with you. They get me pumped up enough to go chase her down in the hallway. I get to her and say, "Hey, I got your notes and definitely would be interested in hanging out sometime with you." The look of puzzle and confusion on her was so incredible. It immediately hit me that this was all a joke put on by my buddies. She says back to me, "I have no idea what notes you are talking about, and I have no idea who you are. And if you can not talk to me again, that would be great." I still get hit with that random memory, and it hits me in the chest, just like it did then. With friends like that, who needs enemies? She said, "My last name, you make me sick." That was over 50 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Female here, he said, "I've been thinking about whether I want or need you in my life, and the answer to both is no." She said, and patted my shoulder. I've never recovered. Girl here. He laughed, called his buddies over, some of them were girls too, and proceeded to. I'll never forget that feeling in my chest. Ever. Furiously, don't ever smile at me again like that. You're ugly, and I do not fancy you. The kicker was, I saw her outside of school, at a shop, with one of her parents. And all I did was smile at her because hey, there's someone I know from school. I was under no illusions that she had any interest in me. Still emotionally devastated to the point where it makes me wince to remember. 36 years later. She berated me for 2 minutes, calling me fat, loser, ugly, with all of the above in combinations. I was 13. I had kids who bullied me and said, "That was rough, man. I'm sorry." Imagine being such an ass. Even your bullies were like, "Damn bro, that's rough." I'm not sure I even like you as a friend, but sure, you can take me out, why not? My confidence was torched for years, and that was the worst, most awkward date of my life, lol. When I was a teenager, I took a friend to the cinema. Halfway through, tried the old yawn and arm over the shoulder technique. She looked at me and just laughed. Never recovered. Nearly 19 years ago, and I remember it clearly. After 9 months together, we were on a bit of a break. I thought things were starting to pick up again. We go to lunch, I drop her at her house, and then she hits me with, "I didn't miss you as much as I thought I would," and ended it. That was a fun thing to hear, and then have to go back to work. She said yes. Then later went over to her ex-boyfriend and said, "Take me back, or I'll actually go out with him." And who knows what would happen to me. That was very depressing to overhear. Edit. And the girl before that told everyone I asked her out and made me a laughing stock for the rest of the day. And the next. So yeah, in conclusion, there is worse she can say than just no. I asked my crush to go to the prom with me. Her response was, "I would rather sit home alone than go to the prom with you." And so began a lifetime of self-esteem issues. It's just not the same in person. After I spent $1,500 and flew across the country in the middle of COVID to see my long distance girlfriend. It'd be like that sometimes. She just laughed. I can still remember everything 40 years later. The type of shit you will remember on a random Saturday evening and not forget until you fall asleep. The worst was when she said nothing. Told a friend I had feelings for her and she refused to see me or talk to me for 3 days, lol. That period of time was worse than any rejection I've ever had. Funnily enough, we had an amazing conversation when she was ready, where we both felt like we learned a lot by listening to each other. And it was the only time where a woman was ultimately willing to stay friends with me afterwards. As in, not just saying it and slow fading me, but actually maintaining a genuine friendship. So it was a good ending, but my god was I absolutely torn up for those 3 days. I had this girlfriend who was crazy into one of the other guys in our friend group, but was really shy. One day she was feeling confident and started flirting with him. He said, "You know, you're so weirdly attractive." Like not in a conventional way, but I bet there's someone who's super into it. Here's the twist. He actually had a crush on her. He thought he was flirting back. Not me, but I saw it happen in middle school. Girl has crush on boy. On April 1st, boy asks girl out. Girl can't believe it. Boy says, "April Fools," and dips. Girl proceeds to have a very bad mental health week. She could say yes, and then a few hours later her and her friends all gather around and laugh. Did you actually think she was serious? She said, "I've already found my prince, I don't need to kiss any more frogs." My best friend once said to my then girlfriend, "We had sex once, when we were 15, then again 10 years later to the day, to see what had changed. Now, the thought of him naked makes me very sad." In high school, I didn't have a date for senior prom. A girl I knew said she knew a gal who really wanted to go. She was a junior so had to be invited by a senior. When she was introduced to me, this girl said, "Oh wait, that's him. Never mind." I don't want to go that much. I unintentionally destroyed a boy once who asked me out in high school. He and I never really talked, but he sat in front of me in chemistry class. One day, he was stretching at his desk with his back arched over the back of his chair, and he looks at me, with his face upside down, and says with a goofy grin, "Will you go out with me?" I responded, "Are you joking?" Because I genuinely couldn't tell given how he delivered it. Turns out he was not. He turned back around and never spoke to me again. Looking back, I probably came off as horrible and mean. Like I was saying, the thought of dating him was laughable, a joke. I think about it every now and again and feel terrible. I really wasn't trying to embarrass him. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening. Tell your friends about me.